Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you may be across the globe today. Once again, it's good to have you join me on Edo Citizens. My name is Frederick Idehere. You can see that I'm a bit different today. I'm looking like a traditional oriented person that I could be sometimes. I would be interacting with someone who is of equal measure. I mean, from the point of view of orientation, traditional orientation. I have Chief Dr. Akhuemonkhan Matthews. Dr. Akhuemonkhan Matthews is an Urobo, I beg your pardon, is an Uromi indigene from Amedokhian in Uromi. He has quite a few to offer with regards to what's happening in Edo State as we speak. He was also, very importantly, an aspirant in the last primaries, in Edo State primaries, that is. He featured in the Labour Party with the likes of Honorable Sergius Ogun, who was also here at some point. He was also in that race with Triple A, Anetor Arebanmhen. I can't put that together right now. The race where you have Barrister Akpata emerge as the primaries, as the flag bearer, I beg your pardon, of the Labour Party. Today, please make welcome Chief MD himself. Good to have you here today.
It's a privilege and great honor. And by the way, my full name is Chief Dr. Okhaimon Daniel Eghonghon Akpata Matthews. Or you can just call me Chief MD.
Wow.
I know, double barrel.
That's a long one, you know. As I was battling with it, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to make that sentence out of a name. And I thought you would do that yourself.
It's good.
Good to have you here.
It's an honor. It's a privilege.
The accent is sweet, you know. You have the Western accent, kind of. Yeah, and you're a chief here.
I was just a Western accent because most of me and my siblings, we sound very alike.
Oh, okay.
Very much alike. If you speak to my brothers, my sisters, only when we go crazy, then you hear the Asa or the other crazy tone that just jump out from nowhere. And then, oh, we got you.
Before I come back to you, you know, you just mentioned you and your siblings. Tell me more about how many are you?
Oh, we're a football team. We're same mom, same dad. It's 10 of us.
All right. 10 of you?
Yeah, 10.
All right.
6 boys, 4 girls, and including curable illness, fever, something like that, and poor medicine. That's one of the things that motivates me in life, to make sure that population general, simple general care, basic care, you understand, basic public care, that you don't lose a life for something as much as malaria or fever. It's been cured many years ago. Also, my mom is no longer alive as well. She died in 1997. She's a wonderful human being.
Wow.
And my dad is 95 years old now.
Still kicking?
Still kicking, works.
Where is he?
It's in Lagos. It's in Lagos.
Wow.
Yeah, it's still kicking, works, do everything. Very, very funny old man. Yeah, very funny. If you see me relate with him, you'll be shocked. It's not the typical dad. It's very different. It's cool. It's a cool dad.
Dad is a pastor?
Yes.
Your granddad is a traditionalist?
My great-granddad is a traditionalist. My granddad is a traditionalist. And my dad is a pastor in deeper life. My siblings, many of them in that line. But by the grace of the God of my ancestor, I was rescued.
How did you mean?
I woke up.
Okay.
I became uncivilized but very cultured.
Okay.
Yeah, I became culturally awake and culturally matured and traditionally blessed. I followed the path of my ancestors who migrated to Eghonghon, back from Eghonghon to Omodio, from Omodio to Odogbe, to Amedokhian Odogbe.
Wow. Your dad is how old?
It's 95 years old. I think 95 years old this year. Yes, February 14.
I'd like to interact with him sometime.
Oh, you would love him.
Yeah, I like to do that on camera. Is that fine? Like
that would be
tribute to
fine.
him. Yeah,
Yes.
I like.
You would love him.
Oh, nice.
Nobody meets him doesn't love
Oh,
him.
nice.
It's-
But how come he's still in Lagos at that age? How come he's not back home?
It's more or less because of us and the grandkids. It's just accessible. Not if you were to go back to, like, some of the grandkids still stay with him, even the ones that in, like, my sister's kids, they rather stay with her than stay there in their house. My brother's kids. And if we were to go to Edo State now at this age, and it's just going to die, but we don't want that. We want
Why?
because he will be far from everything that keep him busy.
Okay.
The stress,
that's a choice.
the stress of the grandkids, the people around the church. It's not bored, it's not isolated like most old people are. So I was saying, my foray into the public health thing, I have two personal experience that leads to death. My mother and my younger sister, who were supposed to still be alive today if we had good public health. Actually, my background in UK, I'm an educationist, and as well as health specialist consultants, public health consultant. I mean, public health funding and management is my core thing. The funding, the management, the development of public health. That's my background, and education as well. I used to have a private college in UK and invested in care homes and other care related issues or businesses in UK. That's what I love to do, and that's my passion in it.
So how much of that have you done in Nigeria?
Well, in Ogun State, we have a government partnership public health hospital that we run. It's Total Community Hospital. It's partnership, and we also are acquiring a couple more, and which does not exist in Edo State at the moment. With the anticipation that might come up, you partner with the government PPP partnership, and you finance and everything, but you create public health. And we are partnering more. We're trying to look into bringing the concept of care, public care homes, and public care training as well. Because that's a new phase. That's public health development in Africa, most especially in Nigeria. It's going to get to a point where the older generation, like I've traveled around most especially Eastern land, and you go to some villages, you have a real huge disparity of old people and very, very young people.
Okay.
And the capable people would have left the town. And these old people are fencing for themselves. Not like they don't have kids that can care for them. They're just not around to care for them properly. So we're thinking of opening care home for older people.
All right.
Affordable care, partnering with the government as well for sustainable care provision.
There's one like that in Uromi, so it's a home for the aged in Uromi. So I think there's something like that.
That would be great. I'm not familiar.
I think there's one in Uromi. Yeah, I think I have one of my dear mom who is at. Okay, it's all right. We'll get to
that. That would be great. And that's just something.
But how much of this have you? How much of interaction have you had in this direction with the Edo State government, or is there something?
There's a group called Global Green that we're part of. It's an international group. We had some people. It's a not-for-profit organization. We're looking at which way is their health specialist industry. They build hospitals, give machines, very expensive machines, which I'm part of. We're still working on it to secure MRI machine for Edo State, including other dialysis machine as well for Edo State, which we've secured this delivery process we're working on. Well, it would have been great to bring it on board. It was supposed to be delivered by December last year, but some other politics playing, and the politics actually delayed it.
Your involvement in politics?
I would say my involvement in politics, I said the politics of the day.
Okay. See
It's not my involvement, the politics of the in Edo State, or not just in Edo State, but we're going to give it to about 15 states, and people want to claim ownership, or the states want to claim ownership while we're trying to do charity. Even some places, not going to mention them, wanted us to give them the money instead for those machines, rather than this is a multi-million dollars machine. So, but that's one of the eye-opening for me, you know, serving the people and other stuff. But personally, I'm a compassionate human being. I care about.
Would you have had? Would that have gained, you know, a higher traction if you succeeded to become the governor of Edo State last year? Because I'm going to come to that subject of your political involvement in Edo State. I'll come to that. But do you think that if you had succeeded to become the governor of Edo State, you would have been able to do create a faster inroad into the public health that you refer to?
Absolutely. We get into that. I think through this election process in Edo State, have one of the best healthcare policy, have one of the best education policy, have one of the best economic regeneration farming policy. I'm a studious person. I have close to 10 specialists, policy specialists in my team. We develop, research, develop. The thing is, just to digress a bit, before even then, I was the first UK Labour Party chairman. I was the one that coined the phrase Nigerian Labour Party in the West.
Nigerian Labour Party.
Nigerian Labour Party in the West. Because we've been in UK, in France, in Germany, in America, and everything, and spreading like wildfire. So anytime you hear in the diaspora Nigerian Labour Party, I coined the phrase and everything. Even the blueprint on how it will be run and everything, I started that. And I was very policy-minded about it, what the policy objection should be. And I had a team, some of those things developed into part of my campaign then. And so I've seen every aspect of this campaign. I've studied every character being nature. And to date, I don't think anyone have had a critical mind and depth, or even the analytical look of Edo State in Nigeria in a way, apart from saying, I want to be a governor. And most of them give this cliche words, cliche answer. We're going to have open government, good roads. What does that mean? You know, it doesn't mean anything if you're building a bridge to nowhere.
Yeah.
You know, it's just one of those cliches. It's more of a humanity thing for me. My concept, my idea, my principle, or my motivation is more important to me. I don't have to be the driver of that vehicle, rather than the vehicle itself. You've got to get to its destination with the people, whoever it is. If it's not me, if there's a credible person who can, hey, so be it. Let them be influenced, inspired, or be encouraged to throw the path that will totally reform the society for greater good. And that's what it is.
You sound very brilliant, very cerebral. You know, I'm wanting to ask you, what's your educational background? Does it have anything to do with how much you have?
No, I read a lot. I have good education.
Okay.
And my education can be verified. I did not study in Nigeria. I studied in UK.
Looks like that.
I have my degree, my master's. I have a PhD in business administration in Nigeria, actually. And other qualifications.
The PhDs in Nigeria?
Yeah, I have an honorary, actually.
Honorary.
It's attached to the work I've done with them, so it's combined. I did 80% of it. The other 20% is with the engineer. You can try to convert that. And I wanted the experience, but I also read a lot. I'm a studious person. I love history.
No, that's fine.
More, even though if I were to come in another life, I think I would love to be an historian. There's so many things Obaseki have laid the foundation, even the Gele Seaport. It will take time to finish, but it's laid a lot of foundation. Structurally, Obaseki is laying down good foundation. The problem is this: whoever comes in next now needs to build on it. regardless who it is, APC, Labour,
that
PDP.
would have been you.
That would have been me, and I would have taken it in my 10,000 steps to space, faster, quicker, because there's a vision and a sense of purpose. And I also know how to improve those things. From the medical, even his energy policy. The only failure of his energy policy, I won't say failure, the only addition that needs to look at is the renewable energy, which is also part of my core and background. The renewable energy element of it. You have flat land. And the road thing, people always talk about some of the roads not done. Most of those roads are federal roads. But I think it should have improved on those roads. One thing nobody knows about, each of those other state roads and community roads, I studied, researched it. Most of these community roads are already being paid to the area landlord or the area people that's never done it completely. Nobody's held accountable for that. This is the kind of thing they could have set up a panel team to help people account. They already pay people, giving people contracts who walked away from it. And these are documented facts. You understand? So if I was applying like I was, applying for the job to be the next governor of Edo State, I need to know the basics. I also need to know the fact. Not the general opinion, Obaseki bad, Obaseki good. No. The fact of what is there. What am I walking into applying for this job for? How can I improve it? So for me, we only have two candidates. Some might say 3 or 4. Let me say, from Labour Party Akpata, from PDP, we have Asue Gedalo, and from APC, we have Senator Monday Okwebolo. But we also have another ASAM person, actually, Paul Obazal. He's my personal friend from ADC. So ADC, I must mention him. And of course, also my good friend, Pastor Zena from all the way from Edo North, is from the NNPP party.
But by the way, what's your take about the ASAM agenda? I mean, just in brief, because I'm going to come to, as I have pleaded with you already, we would have another episode when you're back from your trip where we'll stay a bit more on the Edo politics as it is. But, as a precursor, so to speak, to that point, what's your take about the ASAM agenda?
As an ASAM man, first and foremost, from Odogbe, the true son of the soil, proper, purebred. My father from Odogbe, my mother from Okoni, just a throne story.
In Uromi, right?
In Uromi.
Yeah.
In just a throne, in Amedokhian, more or less, just a throne story. I believe it's an agenda is paramount to me. Period. End of story. And as it is, I've tried to contemplate about it. And I've getting closer to that rationale to say, at this point, I need to be convinced that for me to stick to Labour Party, I need to be convinced that they understand what its agenda is. And for me to support any candidate must also convince me how to project, promote, and clearly define the goal of its agenda. The ASA agenda, to me, transcends beyond just a candidate or a party. It's about a vision and a sense of purpose. For me. So the way I see it is this. I would have preferred it was me, because I'm an ASA man from Uromi and from that Basilo clan. But it's not limited to that. So ASA agenda is paramount to me, and that must be protected. And for that reason, as it is right now, I would struggle. I'm not saying it's not possible, I would struggle to support any candidate who's not from Mesa land, because I truly believe that it's ASAM turn, Edo Central turn. And being a true obedient person, and I must put this as a caveat, because His Excellency Peter Obi left PDP for the simple fact that he strongly believed it's time for a southern person to govern, and Atiku throw its wealth around to get the ticket, and many obedient people not only left PDP or joined Labour, they joined Labour because they believe in fairness, equity, and just. They joined Labour because they felt like we are not fools. You can't take advantage of us and think because you can buy the ticket, you can buy the few delegates, you can buy the ticket, then all of us must fall in line. You know,
that seems to be what happened in your Labour Party, because I'm also hoping that, I'm being mindful, in these conversations, I'm hoping we'll get into the political discourse some other time.
Yes.
But I'm just wondering, and at that point where we do have that conversation,
we'll come back to that.
I'd like to have I'd like to know why the ESA agenda might have failed or failed.
I can tell you straight away.
Yeah.
And this is my son, Labour controversy as well. Abure failed us.
That's the Labour.
The Labour chairman, the organizing secretary, and the Labour Party failed us.
How do you mean?
Because they failed us. They sold the ticket. There's no two ways about it. They sold it to whoever win. They sold it to the highest bidder. Like my very good friend, Sergius Ogun, which you've interviewed. Honorable Sergius Ogun. I call him Sergius. Anyway, it's my personal friend. I apologize. Let me address him privately. Honorable Sergius Ogun is the most intellectual, most patient, most rational, most depth person who could have governed Edo State with the precision to deliver on the promise and the vision of Edo State. And it's so temperamental that it's not phased or it's not moved by emotion or drama. No matter what you discuss with him, he has a patience of an angel to explain himself a million times over to get the point across. And it's somebody who's reasonable to be convinced otherwise. You know what they told Sergius? He may not be able to say in a public place. I would. Because honor matters. Labour Party told Sergius, you can take it to the bank that he doesn't have money. Wow. To run. This guy is a billionaire. He doesn't have money. What that means, he doesn't have money to buy their moral consciousness and pay them enough money to compromise their integrity to support or swing the election his way. Sergius refused to do that. I know of somebody else who I would have supported was a fighter that's a rightsman in the Maswagmo. Yeah. He spent over 300 million. They still go for somebody higher than him. He personally gave Abure money and the working committee whatever money.
You want to say that on the public?
Of course, because he told me we can take it to the back. If he did not give them personal money, they could come in and deny it.
That's fine.
They could deny it. That's fine. And I could quote him. I asked him, I can quote you anywhere. He paid Abure a fortune. Abure cannot deny that. I personally told her I'm not going to be fooled.
So could the ESA agenda had failed or has failed?
Because it hasn't failed.
I beg your pardon, in Labour Party because of compromise from the point of view of the hierarchy?
It's a yes and no thing.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, in the context that we would have preferred an ESA candidate. Olumide Akpata, I consider him a friend. We text, occasionally we talk. He's the most honorable person you can meet. It's very gentle soul. It's very respectful, and you might see the caricature might be portrayed outside. Very, very respectful man. Kind, very...
Doesn't cut that picture.
It's not, I know, that's the strange thing. If you see him talk outside and you meet him one-to-one, he's the nicest human being you could ever talk to. Most respectful, most humble. No any piece of arrogance or pride. That's only their part. By the same time, in this primary, threw his weight around like a silverback gorilla and basically oppressed and match on everybody's expectation.
He was a bully. He bullied the rest of you. More like.
He more or less bullied also the party into submission for him. And they did. And you can't blame him. He played the game the party wanted to play and he beat them and he won. So you have to respect him for that. So for that I even admire him, but I hold the party accountable because it shows they lack integrity.
Yeah, when we come back, I need to go on a break right now. When we come back, we'll build on this and some other issue. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're having a swell time. I have been talking with Chief MD for short. Go on a brief break right now and I'll be right back. Welcome back today. I hope you're having a good time. I'm having a swell time in the studio with a chief, a highly cerebral persona. Chief, I'd like to ask you, while we went on this short break, I took my time to reappraise what you have on. You look very royal, you look very colorful, you look very, you're blue and you're blue. You are a chief.
That's right.
Tell me about it.
My full title is actually from Abure State. Abure State.
And you're Edo?
And I'm an Edo man. It's I Chief DKD Okhaimon the first. I mean, a strong warrior loved by his people.
Wow.
From this kingdom. It will come to me. Apologize quickly, because I wasn't expecting that call.
No,
and I was with the king. We even spoke earlier today. It's a wonderful, fantastic thing. Based on the work we're doing in the kingdom and how we are helping to develop.
That's in Abia State.
In Abia State.
Okay.
Owaza Kingdom. I apologize. Owaza Kingdom.
Okay.
It's Royal Highness Obioma is the king there. It's a personal friend too. So he gave me the title. I feel so honored and privileged. And you'll be amazed that the blue cap I'm wearing is from Ogun State, from another kingdom, Iwokwe Kingdom.
What was that?
Iwokwe Kingdom.
Okay.
It's in Ogun State.
Okay.
And the Kabiyesi is also a personal friend.
Okay.
And I remember I went to see him one time and everything. We're very friends. This is what we can do. There's a whole tanker field that somebody had there before, and due to Dangote shipping and everything, and on the other side, so they decided to close it down. We're looking at how to invest in it. Then it's a community land. It was just so complicated, so we pull out. So I saw the blue hat. I said, I really love this cap.
Wow.
So, do you want it? I'm like, no, but you're wearing it. It's a king cap. I said, no.
Oh, you had this cap on?
So you just say, take.
Wow, that's a good...
I'm like, wow. So when I know I'm coming to you, so I'm going to wear the European king hat. Very wonderful, man. And this was also given to me. I'm like, I have to come honor you with it. It was given by another Kabiyesi in Badagry.
Nice.
It's the Kabiyesi of Ikoga Kingdom, just in Badagry.
Oh, okay.
It's first class king as well. So he gave me this, and I saw him wearing it as well.
You look royal.
So I'm coming to see my brother. He's going to talk about Ace and Line. So let me go with the royal blessings. And to make that funny, this was also given to me by Chief Oloye Timothy. He's part of the Ikoga Kingdom, where the king is the chief there.
Oh.
So he gave me to match,
Wow.
And this was given to me by Oluwo Surulere.
Wow.
Oluwo Surulere.
What's making you so likable?
Well, I love people.
Oh, nice.
And one of the things that I notice about myself, most people do talk about it, is that people generally like me. And I realize the psychology behind it. I don't presume anyone to be anything apart from good.
Yeah, that's good.
My outlook on people is, you're a good person.
Yeah.
I don't presume, even when I meet bad people, they tend to be good to me. So I am extremely lucky that 99%, there's always that 1% mad person. 99% of people I meet, old, young, black, white, fat, thin, short, long, just like me generally. They can't tell you why they like me. Even most of them I don't even know.
But
I generally like people. I personally generally like people. I see people, I give you a hug, I give you a handshake. I want to know you. For whatever reasons, I tend to give people time to talk or pay attention to people in a positive way. I genuinely enjoy the privilege of meeting people. I find it so honorable to meet people, to interact with them, to just understand their motivation or their psychoanalysis of life. If anything intrigues me when I meet people and they talk, I'm intrigued in any language, even though it's just like listening to a French music that you don't understand, but you understand the beat.
Yeah.
The beat is the beat of the heart. And when you talk to people, I can feel their heart, their passion, and their concerns, their worries, their fears. It intrigues me. I also genuinely seek pathway to be a blessing. I always pray, God, make me a blessing.
Yeah.
I was raised by a wonderful mother that raised, even though it's 10 of us, raised almost another 10 unrelated family.
Wow.
You come to my house,
that explains why you have an adopted child. You have 3 children?
I have 3 kids.
Yeah.
I hate to use the word adopted.
Yeah, okay.
It's my daughter. Yeah. I have 3 kids. 1 boy, 2 girls. I'm not going to tell you which is adopted. My oldest son is 21 this year. My middle child is going to be 19 this year. And it's actually Ezekiel Osamudiame Akhuemonkhan. My middle child is Mariana Osenhon Akhuemonkhan. And my youngest daughter is Osareme. I love that one.
Yeah.
Osareme Akhuemonkhan. And yeah, I have an adopted child, just to make it clear, but it's not because of anything. It's because I grew up with a mother that adopted the whole street.
Yeah.
She cares without bounds. I have friends who are like brothers to me today, no blood relation, nothing. You know, and that to me means more to me than anything else. So when I see people, when I meet people, when I come across people, I'm just impressed by their presence. Even people saying hello to me without knowing me, I feel very honored. I feel privileged about it. So in return, people just like me. Everybody will tell you why they like me. It's different for the very reason I like them.
Yeah.
I just like them because they exist in my life. That's it. Anything else is a bonus.
So you like me?
Of course. See, that's why I came with the privilege of the royal, just to meet my fellow brother. Also Asa man, you know.
I'm totally honest.
You know,
I'm totally honest.
I said I have to come with the rare blessing. I can't come to meet my own fellow brother, the same blood, and come less than
Trust
royal.
me,
From the cap, the beads, the clothes, everything.
Return this honor in whichever way.
I'll be most happy.
Thank you so much. I can't explain this enough.
Most happy.
You know, from what you've been saying, we seem to share a lot in common. I like people who appreciate little things. I appreciate little things a lot. I feel like you do not owe me. You know, it's when you feel like, oh, the world owes you, and then you begin to feel like this much that they've met to you, and it's not good enough, and like you're looking for more and all of that. So Chief, I'm very honored today. But let me take you back to, like I said, you know, I'll have another opportunity to have conversation before you take your trip out. You know, I like to have that conversation. Now, I'd like to go back to Edo State a little bit. Yeah.
And the great Obaseki. Yes, you'll be proud. If I start listing the things Obaseki have achieved or set about achieving in Edo State, you'll be proud of him. If the next government that comes in deliver on those promises.
If you had the opportunity to work with Obaseki, in what capacity would it have been?
I will be focusing on the strategy delivery, policy delivery,
so if that
and its communication of it. Look at EBS. Obaseki, I've been there, done interview a couple of times in EBS. And he spent a fortune renovating that place, putting money, but they still functioning like a cowboy place because he has no sense of purpose or direction. There's, like I said, building a bridge to nowhere or creating a road without a purpose. There's no clear defined purpose for EBS, even though Obaseki has invested millions.
Broadcasting.
Yes, invested a lot of money into it. Nobody gave him credit.
Observer, the Edo State-owned newspaper Observer, I think it's back on.
Yeah, but it's working without direction or purpose. If I have the privilege to work with Obaseki, I won't call it a privilege, I'll be working for Edo State.
Absolutely.
Not Obaseki the person, it's Edo State. But I have the privilege to work in Edo State in the capacity of policy delivery and communication. That will be an area that will interest me. But personally, to work with Obaseki is a minor thing for me. I also have he also has some character trait that we may not get along with.
Which is?
Obaseki is naturally, from what I've seen, what I've read, saying, he has this is not, I've already said it's a great man.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean,
he has issue with this gentleman, what's his name, Oshomole, that brought him to the party, to politics and everything, even though he's been in politics on the background. He has an issue with his deputy governor who stood against Oshomole. If you know Philip Chaibu history with Oshomole, if you know their history, Oshomole actually lived with Chaibu's dad at one point. And Chaibu was brought into politics fully very well by Oshomole. Oshomole stood against, Chaibu stood against Oshomole and stood with Obaseki when Oshomole was trying to get rid of him. That demands some level of loyalty back.
Did you think that Obaseki didn't do that? Because the thing is, I think it's something that would require for us to actually pay attention, give some form of historical background to. Yeah,
there's historical background, but there's open evidence. Don't let us fool ourselves. We also betray the trust of the hardcore PDP people. the foundation PDP in Edo State. That's an open fight. That's why it's having a problem. After they received him with open arm to PDP, gave him the ticket, although he bought the ticket as well and everything. What did he do? He tried to destroy them. That's why Aswe is struggling to unite the party fully. Hence, we have the case of Shaibu. So that element of betrayal and distrust, I mean...
So, Chief.
Yes, sir.
Because I must run now. If you had the opportunity to work with, of course, you already established that you believe in the Eastern agenda.
Absolutely.
So what that means, you have two major candidates before you. If you have the opportunity to work with either of them, which would it be?
I wouldn't say which would it be per se. I would say which have the clear sense of purpose and vision.
From
my perspective, right now, and I've not seen that. I'll give you a good criticism now. Let me talk of Aswe, for instance. People are predicting Aswe as if it's already the next governor. Aswe was on the TV the other day and he was asked about public service corruption. And his response was very laughable to me. It shows he has no social depth in terms of social, structural, political depth. It's just wanting to have an understanding of what is going on, but having a critical mind on how to resolve it. He said the problem with civil servants is their take home is not enough to take home, as such as corruption. That is just BS. Even though if you increase their pay to 1 million a month, the cost of the cost of standard of living is too high. It's rising higher than to meet wages. As such, you can't keep increasing salary when you are not addressing the fundamentals.
So welcome back. I hope you're having a good time with my guest today. Chief, as we coast home, as we begin to coast home, you know, I'd like to ask you rather sensitive questions. Among the two candidates, more like, or three candidates that are of Eastern extraction right now, who would you rather be associated with leading to September 2024 when, sorry, I beg your pardon, September 24th when the election will hold?
As it stands, I've not seen anyone credible among the 2-3 candidates.
Credible enough or credible?
Credible enough because I'm not convinced yet. Paul Abbassador is a personal friend. I know him very well, and he's reached out to me personally and everything, which is great. ADC man. However, apart from that, I need to know don't give me cliche. Just tell me what you want to do, how you're going to go about achieving them. Not like you're building a bridge to nowhere. What's your education policy? What's your economic policy? What's your public health policy? What's your urban regeneration policy? What's your agri policy? What's your renewable energy policy? Not just say, I will build more solar and I will do more fan, but give me details. How are you going to go about it? What's the security policy? That, until I hear that, and it's not going to be based on any affiliation of a party.
Oh, that's fine.
That's what I'm looking for.
Chief. Yeah. As we begin to run, you know, sometimes we don't want to make this thing too long for people's convenience. Would you have like a last word, a parting shot for I should say, you know, as we...
Yeah, I want to personally commend the Edo citizen worldwide, and of course the program itself. It's a proud honor and privilege to be here. I believe my dad would be greatly amused, entertained, and feel... I think my dad would feel like he's the one here already, you know, because this is part of his dream.
Name of your dad again?
My dad, we just call him Daddy. But it's Barr Olumide Matthews, we call him Daddy, Barr Olumide Matthews. And his nickname is Moba. It's not the King's fault, you know.
Okay, that's right.
So, and another thing, if you permit me to, I think it's the PDP chairman that was kidnapped. Doctor, what's his name? Yeah, the PDP chairman.
Azigbemi.
Yeah,
Antonio Azigbemi.
Good.
Yeah.
To all Edolites, I personally appeal to you. This cannot happen, and this cannot stand. Regardless the party, a political figure cannot be kidnapped in our midst and will not burn down the bushes, the valley, or even the depth of the sea to find it. This cannot stand. We should all stand against such things. Our political figures, either elected or party official, either you like them or not, you have one choice, vote them out. Not kidnap, because it could happen to any of us. All of us are in danger of that. If they go for the political figures, who else? The kings? The chiefs, or the school children, or the teachers, or the civil servants because of what? Please, I beg you all, Edolite, this cannot stand. We collectively must stand against this and fight this to the last and make sure this man is brought home. Please, those who have perpetrated this crime should immediately release him for the greater good of Edolite. That's not who we are. That's not who we are. Edo is for the enlightened, the educated, and the culturally rich people. Our values, the Edo kingdom spread across the whole of Africa as far as even South America. That's our value. And please don't forget that. I'm not convinced that those who kidnapped this gentleman are from Edo State or of Edo origin. Hence the reason we must rise. We must seek them out. We must destroy them wherever they are, to their fourth generation, so that this kind of thing will never happen again. Not again. Not under our watch. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chief. I thank you so immensely for being here today. We would meet before you, maybe in another, like sometime next week.
Please.
Thank you so much, Chief. Ladies and gentlemen, hope you've had a good one.